The luxury yacht Silver Dawn sits in Mumbai harbor like a floating palace. It's 2:30 in the morning. Expensive champagne glasses lie empty on the marble deck. A white wedding dress floats in the dark Arabian sea water like a ghost. Meera Desai had exactly 8 hours of married life before it ended in murder. Wedding photos are scattered across the deck. Some are torn, some have blood on them. The cleaning crew works quietly, washing away red stains that tell a story the world will never hear. What happened on this billion-dollar yacht? Where is Meera Desai now? And why is her new husband already planning her funeral while the world thinks she just ran away? Before we continue, if you're finding this story compelling, please subscribe to Crime Canvas. We bring you true crime stories that matter, stories that need to be told. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover the truth. Meera Desai wasn't born into money. She came from a small town in Rajasthan where dreams go to die. Her mother worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. Gas station cashier in the morning, diner waitress in the afternoon, cleaning offices at night. Meera learned early that life wasn't fair. While other kids got new clothes for school, she wore hand-me-downs. While they had birthday parties, she had empty promises that maybe next year would be better. But Meera was smart and she was beautiful. Most importantly, she could make people believe anything she wanted them to believe. Her first con happened when she was just 17. She created a fake charity for her dying grandmother who needed expensive cancer treatment. She made flyers. She cried real tears telling the story. She raised 70,000 rupees in 2 weeks from her small-town neighbors. There was no dying grandmother. Meera used the money to buy a train ticket and get out of that dead-end town forever. College was supposed to be her fresh start, but textbooks cost money. Dorm rooms cost money. Everything cost money that Meera didn't have. So she dropped out after 1 semester and moved to Mumbai. Mumbai was where Meera learned that wealthy old men were lonely. They had money but no one to share it with. They wanted to feel young again. They wanted to feel important. Meera could give them that feeling. She created fake dating profiles. She said she was an art student. She said she came from a good family. She said all the right things. Within 6 months, she was living in a penthouse apartment paid for by a 62-year-old real estate developer who thought he was in love. That relationship lasted 8 months. When it ended, Meera walked away with 3 million rupees in gifts and a luxury car. The man never knew he'd been played. But then something happened that Meera never planned for. She got pregnant. The father was just a one-night stand, some guy she met at a bar whose name she couldn't even remember. Meera was 20, alone and scared. She couldn't take care of a baby. She could barely take care of herself. So she made the hardest choice of her life. She gave birth to a baby boy she named Arif. She held him for 1 day. She kissed his forehead. And then she gave him to a wealthy family who could give him everything she couldn't. Meera told the adoption agency that the father was dead. She told them she had no family. She made sure there would be no way for anyone to trace the baby back to her. Arif would grow up thinking his birth mother had disappeared forever. For Meera, every lie was a stepping stone away from poverty. Every con was another chance to escape the life she was born into. She didn't see herself as a criminal. She saw herself as a survivor. And she was about to meet the man who would make all her dreams come true, or kill her trying. If you're still with us, take a moment to subscribe to Crime Canvas. These stories need to be heard, and your subscription helps us continue telling them. Rashid Merchant is worth 60 billion rupees. His textile and shipping empire stretches across 3 countries. His name appears on university buildings and hospital wings. When he speaks, politicians listen. At 67, Rashid has everything money can buy. Private jets, multiple mansions, art collections worth more than most state budgets. He owns a 200 crore mega yacht that's basically a floating city. To the world, Rashid is the perfect wealthy gentleman. He donates millions to charity. He speaks at conferences about business ethics. He's been married 3 times to beautiful women who all seem to adore him. But there's something the world doesn't know about Rashid Merchant. His first wife, Fatima, was 23 when they married. She disappeared from public view after 2 years. The divorce was quiet. She got a settlement and signed papers that she would never talk about their marriage. She moved to another country and was never seen again. His second wife, Zainab, was 25. Same story. After 3 years of marriage, she vanished from society. Another quiet divorce. Another settlement. Another woman who agreed to never speak about what happened behind closed doors. His third wife, Aisha, lasted 5 years. She was 27 when they married. She also disappeared from public life before their divorce was announced. The pattern was clear to anyone paying attention. Rashid didn't just marry young, beautiful women. He erased them. He couldn't stand any threat to his perfect public image. He was obsessed with control. What happened in his private life stayed private no matter what it cost. The mega yacht Silver Dawn was where Rashid hosted the world's elite. Presidents, movie stars, tech billionaires. They all came to party on his floating palace in Mumbai harbor. They all thought he was the perfect host. None of them knew about the room below deck where Rashid kept his secrets. None of them suspected that their charming host was capable of murder. December 2023, Delhi. The annual charity gala for underprivileged children's education. The ballroom is filled with the world's richest people pretending to care about poor kids while sipping champagne that costs more than most people make in a year. Meera Desai walks into the room wearing a black dress that cost her 2 months of savings. But she doesn't look out of place. She never does. That's her gift. She spent 3 weeks studying Rashid Merchant. She knows he'll be here tonight. She knows he sits at table 12. She knows he drinks only French champagne. She knows he gets bored easily at these events. Meera has created a new identity for this job. She's now an art consultant from a famous London gallery. She has business cards. She has a fake website. She has references that will check out if anyone calls. But Meera's real weapon isn't her fake identity. It's her ability to read people. And she can see exactly what Rashid Merchant needs. He's surrounded by people who want his money. Every conversation is about business deals or charity donations. Every woman who talks to him is obviously impressed by his wealth. He's bored. He's lonely. He wants someone who sees him as more than just a walking bank account. So when Meera finally approaches him near the auction table, she doesn't mention his money at all. That painting is a fake, she says, looking at a piece being auctioned for charity. Rashid looks surprised. Are you sure? I'm an art expert. The brush strokes are wrong. Someone's going to pay 20 million rupees for a copy. Meera walks away without introducing herself. She doesn't ask for his number. She doesn't even look back. For the first time in years, someone has told Rashid Merchant something he didn't know. Someone has walked away from him instead of chasing his attention. Someone has treated him like a regular person instead of a god. He's instantly fascinated. Within an hour, Rashid has found out Meera's name. He's looked up her gallery. He's decided he absolutely must see her again. The hunt has begun. The next morning, Meera's phone rings. It's Rashid. His voice is smooth, confident. I can't stop thinking about what you said last night. About the painting. Meera smiles. The hook is set. Would you like to have coffee and tell me more about art? He asks. But Meera doesn't say yes right away. She plays hard to get. I'm very busy this week, she says. Maybe next month. This drives Rashid crazy. No one ever says no to him. No one ever makes him wait. It makes him want her even more. Meera spends the next 3 days creating her perfect fake life. She builds a website for her fake London art gallery. She creates social media accounts going back 5 years. She photoshops herself into pictures at art shows and museum openings. She creates a tragic backstory. Both parents died in a car crash when she was 19. No brothers or sisters, no family at all. She had to work her way through art school alone. She learned to be strong because she had no choice. It's the perfect story to make Rashid want to protect her. When Meera finally agrees to meet Rashid for coffee, she wears simple clothes. No makeup. She wants to look natural, not like she's trying to impress him. At coffee, Meera tells Rashid about her dead parents. She gets tears in her eyes talking about how alone she felt after they died. She says she doesn't trust people easily because everyone always leaves. Rashid feels like he wants to hold her and promise he'll never leave her. Within 2 weeks, Rashid is flying Meera to Paris to see art museums, then Rome, then New York. Each trip gets more expensive. He buys her jewelry that costs more than most people's houses. But Meera acts like the gifts don't matter. She says she just enjoys spending time with him. For 6 months, Meera plays her role perfectly. She never slips up. She never forgets her fake stories. But the hardest part is Arif. Every Tuesday and Friday, Meera calls her 8-year-old son on a secret phone. She tells him she's his aunt who lives far away. Arif doesn't know she's his real mother. Meera loves those phone calls more than anything. Arif tells her about school and his friends. He shows her his drawings through the video call. Sometimes he asks why his aunt can't visit him. Meera always makes up excuses, but it breaks her heart every time. If you're moved by this story, please subscribe to Crime Canvas. We tell the stories that need to be told, the ones that reveal uncomfortable truths about wealth, power, and justice. March 15, 2024. Mumbai Harbor. The wedding day Meera has been dreading and dreaming about for months. Rashid's mega yacht Silver Dawn is decorated like a floating palace. White flowers everywhere, red carpets, golden chairs set up on the main deck for 500 of the world's most powerful people. Meera stands in the bridal suite, looking at herself in the mirror. Her wedding dress cost more than most people make in 5 years. Diamonds sparkle around her neck. Her makeup is perfect, but her hands won't stop shaking. She takes 2 anxiety pills and washes them down with champagne. She practices her smile in the mirror. She tells herself she just has to get through today. Tonight she'll tell Rashid everything. Tonight this nightmare will finally be over. The ceremony begins at sunset. Meera walks down the aisle as a string quartet plays. The Arabian Sea sparkles behind them like diamonds. Cameras flash as the world's media captures every moment of this fairy tale wedding. Meera's smile never slips, even though she feels like she's walking to her own execution. When Rashid kisses his bride, the crowd explodes in applause. Fireworks light up the Mumbai sky. For 4 hours, Meera plays the perfect bride. She laughs at jokes. She poses for photos. She thanks guests for coming. But inside, she's counting down the minutes until she has to face the truth. At 11 p.m., the last guests finally leave. The yacht crew starts cleaning up while Meera and Rashid retreat to the master cabin. Everything is marble and gold. The bed is bigger than most people's apartments. Floor-to-ceiling windows show the lights of Mumbai sparkling like stars. Rose petals are scattered across the bed. Rashid has planned the perfect romantic evening with his new wife. Meera goes into the bathroom and takes another anxiety pill. She looks at herself in the mirror and practices what she's going to say. Rashid, I need to tell you something. Meera comes out of the bathroom wearing a white silk nightgown. She sits on the edge of the bed as far from Rashid as possible. Her heart is beating so fast she thinks it might explode. Rashid, she says. I need to tell you something. Her voice is shaking. Rashid notices immediately. He sets down his champagne and moves closer to her. What's wrong, my love? He asks. His voice is gentle, concerned. Emily starts crying. Real tears this time, not the fake ones she's used so many times before. I haven't been honest with you, she whispers. Rashid's face changes. The smile disappears. What do you mean? My name isn't Meera Desai. Well, it is now, but it wasn't always. And I'm not from London. I'm from Rajasthan, a poor town in Rajasthan. Rashid sits back. He's confused. Not angry yet. My parents didn't die in a car crash. My father left when I was little. My mother worked 3 jobs just to keep us alive. I dropped out of college because I couldn't afford it. I moved to Mumbai and I started lying to men, rich men. I would pretend to be someone else and they would give me money. The confusion on Rashid's face is turning into something else, something colder. I'm not an art expert. I've never worked at a gallery in London. I learned about art from books and the internet so I could fool you. I studied you for weeks before we met. I knew exactly what you wanted to hear. Rashid stands up. His face is completely blank now. Go on, he says quietly. Meera is sobbing now. And I have a son. His name is Arif. He's 8 years old. I gave him up for adoption when he was a baby because I couldn't take care of him. But I still call him. I've been calling him our whole relationship. I told him I'm his aunt. Rashid doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares at Meera like she's a stranger. I've been lying about everything, Meera says. But my love for you is real. I started this as a con, but I fell in love with you. That's why I'm telling you the truth now. Because I can't lie to you anymore. Because I want our marriage to be real. Meera reaches for Rashid's hand. Please forgive me. I know I should have told you sooner, but I was scared. I was scared you wouldn't love me if you knew the truth. But we're married now. We can start over. I'll never lie to you again. Rashid pulls his hand away. He walks to the window and stares out at Mumbai. The silence stretches for what feels like hours. When Rashid finally turns around, Meera doesn't recognize the man looking at her. His eyes are cold, dead, like looking at a shark. You made me look like a fool, he says. His voice is quiet, but somehow more terrifying than if he was screaming. No, Meera says. Nobody knows. I'm telling you first. We can figure this out together. 500 people watched me marry a lie tonight, Rashid says. The whole world thinks I'm married to someone who doesn't exist. I exist, Meera says desperately. I'm right here. I'm your wife. You're a con artist, Rashid says. A cheap little con artist who thought she could steal from me. Rashid starts walking toward Meera. She backs away until she hits the wall. I can disappear, Meera says quickly. I'll leave tonight. I'll go back to Rajasthan. You can tell everyone I had a breakdown or something. You can get the marriage annulled. No one has to know what really happened. But Rashid keeps coming. You think I can just let you go? You think you can destroy my reputation and then run away? Meera realizes she's made a terrible mistake. This isn't the kind, gentle man she thought she married. This is someone else entirely, someone dangerous. You know too much, Rashid says. About my other wives, about my business, about me. Meera tries to run past him, but Rashid grabs her arm. He's stronger than he looks. Much stronger. Please, Meera begs. I won't tell anyone anything. I swear. I just want to go home. You are home, Rashid says. This is where you'll stay forever. Meera fights as hard as she can. She scratches Rashid's face. She tries to scream, but his hand covers her mouth. She kicks and punches, but he's too strong. This is what happens to people who try to make me look stupid, Rashid says calmly. Meera Desai dies at 1:47 a.m. on March 16, 2024. Her last thought is of Arav, and how he'll never know what happened to the aunt who used to call him twice a week. The luxury yacht that was supposed to be Meera's dream becomes her tomb. For 30 minutes, Rashid Merchant sits next to his dead wife's body. He doesn't cry. He doesn't panic. He doesn't feel guilty. He just thinks, he plans, he calculates exactly what he needs to do to make this problem disappear forever. This isn't the first time Rashid has killed someone. It won't be the last. First, Rashid cleans under his fingernails. Meera scratched his face during the fight, so her DNA is probably under there. He uses bleach to scrub his hands and arms. He changes clothes and puts everything he was wearing into a bag. Rashid takes Meera's body far out into international waters where no country has the right to investigate. The Arabian Sea is deep here, very deep. He weighs down what's left and watches it sink into the darkness. Meera will never be found. Not by police, not by family, not by anyone. Back on the yacht, Rashid cleans everything. He's methodical and careful. He knows exactly what evidence to look for because he's done this before. When the sun comes up over Mumbai, the yacht looks exactly like it did before the wedding. Perfect, clean, innocent. At 8 a.m. Rashid starts making phone calls. His voice is shaky like a man in shock. He calls his assistant first. Meera's gone, he says. She left me a note saying she couldn't go through with the marriage. She took one of the speedboats and disappeared. By noon the story is all over social media. Billionaire's bride runs away on wedding night. The Mumbai police have to investigate because Meera is officially a missing person, but they don't try very hard. The detective assigned to the case is more interested in getting selfies with Rashid than actually looking for evidence. The police search the yacht, but they don't find anything. Rashid cleaned too well. There's no blood, no signs of struggle, no evidence that anything violent happened. Just a missing bride and a heartbroken husband. The media eats up Rashid's performance. He gives interviews where he looks genuinely heartbroken. He talks about how much he loved Meera. He says he hopes she finds happiness wherever she is. The world feels sorry for Rashid Merchant, the poor billionaire who got his heart broken by a gold digger who couldn't handle the pressure of being rich and famous. Meera has no family to fight for her. Her mother died 3 years ago. She has no siblings. Her few friends believe Rashid's story because they don't know about Meera's real past. Within a month, Rashid's team starts creating fake evidence that Meera is alive. Someone who looks like Meera is spotted at an airport in Brazil. Meera's bank account shows activity in Thailand. Her social media accounts post photos from different countries. Of course, these posts are all fake. Rashid pays people to create them, but they convince the world that Meera Desai is alive somewhere, living under a new identity. 6 months after Meera's murder, Rashid is dating again. A 25-year-old model from Russia who doesn't speak much Hindi. This is what he does. He marries young, beautiful women. Then they disappear. Then he moves on to the next one. Meanwhile, Arav is growing up in his adoptive family's house in Bangalore. He's 9 years old now. Sometimes he asks his parents about the aunt who used to call him. The aunt who promised to visit but never did. The aunt who suddenly stopped calling with no explanation. His parents tell him that sometimes adults have to go away for work. They say maybe his aunt will call again someday. They don't know that his aunt was actually his mother. They don't know that she's been dead for over a year. Arav will grow up never knowing that his mother loved him enough to die trying to create a better life for both of them. He'll never know that Meera's last thought before Rashid killed her was about him. Rashid Merchant's empire keeps growing. His businesses make billions of rupees. His charitable foundation gets praised for helping poor children around the world. Politicians shake his hand and ask for his advice. No one knows that this respected businessman is actually a serial killer who has murdered at least 4 women. No one knows that his charity work is just a way to meet more young vulnerable women who might become his next victims. The truth about Meera Desai's final night died with her in the deep waters of the Arabian Sea. This is Crime Canvas, where we tell the stories that need to be told. If this story moved you, if it made you think about justice, power, and the price of silence, please subscribe to our channel. Share this story. Let people know that sometimes the monsters wear expensive suits and live in floating palaces. Evil sometimes wins when money can buy silence and power corrupts justice. But the story doesn't end here. Because Rashid Merchant doesn't know that someone is watching. Someone who knows the truth. Someone who's been collecting evidence for years. The hunter is about to become the hunted. Subscribe to Crime Canvas to find out what happens next. Because every story deserves an ending. And Meera Desai deserves justice.